Welcome all the sports fans to the All Madness special here on Around the Rim, the virtual studios of ATR Live. We're doing the All Madness special a little bit different, and I will explain how different. Well, you got it right now. It's going to be virtual, and I will explain more after the can. Welcome back, all the sports fans, to the All Madness special edition on atrlive.com. That's the website, Around the Rim. I am your host, the Deadster Nestor Dudley. This season for producing this show has been a very challenging season. For the first couple of shows, the facilities here at Urban Media Arts, but the studios of MATV, was under renovations. So we went into this virtual format. Very good. Then during the season, your man, the Dutchstad, had a very hard time assembling a crew. So I was basically trying to assemble a crew the entire season, but we still had this virtual platform as well. So we were still able to whip off all these shows for this season. But during this season, I've been steadily building the crew, because I had to replace a longtime director, and I had replaced him with an older school director. Then when we were about to come back into the studios, the graphics machine had crashed. So the graphics machine had to go out for repairs, and that put us back in terms of having in studio. So the graphics machine came back last Sunday. Your man, the Duster, was here, met the technician, installed it before going to the games. Then this past Tuesday night, I was testing the technologies, because we were going to have the same format as one season ago, where your man, the Dudster, was in the studio, and then the 4 playoff coaches would be remoted into the studio. But then that technology had failed. Your man didn't have enough time to replace that technology. So it wasn't fair to the playoff coaches. I like to find out, give them several days in advance, who's going to be on the show, this all-important show. Wasn't fair to them. So we had a few choices. And instead of going down the list of the choices, the choice that we went with, and this is the choice that's going to give the quickest turnaround for you, the fans, and everybody that loves the Mall Neighborhood Basketball League, is that for this year, your man, the Dudster, do a solo All Madness special. Not what I wanted to do, but those are the cards that were dealt to me. Okay, that being said, let's celebrate the 4 teams that have made it to the Madness, March Madness. And they are, as they finish, first place Pistons, second place Celtics, third place Kings, and fourth place Sixers. That's how they finish. 1 through 4. So Pistons, let me tell you, Pistons were only 3 losses this year, 4 losses this year. I don't have the final stats with me. But the Pistons, what a deep and solid team. Pistons, Nathan Sullivan, Clifford Pollard, Robert Wallace, Joshua Bly, Joseph Hatch, Makai Cook, Brian Jose, Jeremiah Duprevel, Jeremiah Charles, Jorgensen, Doricent, Davante, Layne, Clubberson, Aurelian. These guys have done work the entire season, listening to their coaches execute the game plan, and they are going through that game plan. And this team, as I said when I had head coach Danny Pateau, B2 on this show, that this could be a very special season for the Pistons. And so far is shaping up to be that. Can they finish the deal? Can they finish the dance? Pistons going through the stats here. You have Wallace averaging 13.8 points per game. And Sullivan right behind him, 13.7 points a game, followed by Joshua Blythe, just under 10 points at 9.8 points per game. And in terms of league leaders, we have Wallace, who is third in the league beyond the arc, where everything is 3. So he is third in the 3-ball, and right behind him in fourth place, seedings in the 3-ball, is teammate Sullivan. Now at the line, where everything is free, Sullivan is averaging 53.1% in the 5 slot, and he is the only Piston that's in the top 10. And as far as top scorers go, Nathan Sullivan is 4th in the league, being a top scorer, and followed by Wallace, who is 5th. And I don't know how Wallace could be 5th and Sullivan 4th when Wallace is on top of Sullivan during the team standings. But anyways, 4th, 5th, both those Pistons, very nice, tight squad. Head coach Danny Bitu, other coaches, assistant coaches, officer Chuck Washington, Marcus Bailey, and Giordani Doricent. Strong Pistons squad. The team that came in second place, the Celtics. That's right, I said the Celtics. The Celtics head coach, they call him Magic, and he sprinkled some magic this season because it is very rare that a team starts off 0-3, and just to make the madness itself, starting off 0-3, but they climbed all the way up to the number 2 slot on a 3-game winning streak to come in here. And some would say that they are the hottest team in the league right now, the hottest team in the madness. And their men, Tony Geddes, Rodner Doricent, Damien Jacques, on injured reserve, Jacques Sweeney rolled his ankle, hasn't played over a month. He will miss the madness in terms of playing, but I'm sure he will be in the stands. Tyler Young, Antoine Che, David Azzolino, Jalen Riviera Fuentes, Cameron Crawford, Matt DaCosta, Giovanni Bears, Josias, Thelmarque. Again, this team to scratch and claw from the 5th seed, because that's where they were at the mid-season report card. A few weeks ago, they were in the 5th seed that climbed all the way up to the 2nd seed. But Evans Revere, the Magic Man, he said, Nestor, we are going to the madness. And when he said that, that team had a losing record. He said, we're going to the madness. Matter of fact, when he said that, they had not even won their first game yet. He told me they were going to the madness. I didn't believe when he said it, but I am never going to doubt him again from this point forth. Evans Revere, the Magic Man, head coach, followed by Dylan Hamilton, Mighty Joe Young, Makende Noel, and Benito St. Bryce. The Greene looking good, looking strong. The team that finished in the 3rd slot, the Kings. And what have I said to you the entire season? I have said, this is not your Kings team from last year. This Kings, a new look, drafted some new players to go with some returning players, and they found that formula that worked, and the Kings have been in madness contention the entire season from the first jump ball till the final whistle. Jaden Pierre, Bradley Luigi, Aiden Greene, Hakeem Facilion, a.k.a. Escalade, Steve Juliet, Cedric Matheley, Marcus Pierre, Jacoby Hampton, Logan Johnson, Yaheem Reeves, Chris Rodriguez, Adam Haddad, Jimmy Lynn, head coach James Brittle White. I like that head coach. I like that dude. He is officially my favorite head coach in the Mall Neighborhood Basketball League. Just don't tell Beanie Amos anybody. And assistant coach Winston June. Those are the Kings. And the Sixers, almost equally impressive. Well, all 4 teams are impressive that made it to the madness. But the Sixers, with that hot start, started off 3-0 and just maintained. The Sixers brand new head coach, had a draft, a whole lot of folks. He basically had to draft an entire team, only had a couple of returners, and one returner returned after the draft was closed, after the signs was closed. League let him in because he played in this league for the past several years. And the Sixers, they wasn't even at all the tryouts, but yet here they are in the madness with Nashawn Melvin, Mike Joseph, J.L. Geronimo, Jose Juarbe, Antoine Hafe, Matthew Maltese, Spencer Paul, Dante Bell, George Rogers, Dante Hector, Anthony Noble, Aiden Parisi, and Landon Bocciccini. And I'm just thinking that I went over stats for the first team, but I had not even gone over individual stats for the other three teams. So we're going to do a rewind. Let's put it in reverse and back up, and let's back up to the Celtics. Okay, the Celtics, Thelmarque averaging for the Celtics just over at 10 points a game, followed by Azzolino and Che, both averaging 8 points. Azzolino's averaging closer to 9 than Che, but that is their solid three. So when we come to the scoring leaders here, for the three ball, there are no Celtics that's within the top 5 in the three ball. Now, at the line where everything is free, a.k.a. the free throws, we got Thelmarque, who is averaging 52.9 at the line where everything is free. He is in the 7th slot, and David Azzolino is in the 9th slot, averaging 46.5% at the line where everything is free. Now, in terms of top scorers in the league, we have Thelmarque in the 8th slot, averaging 10.4 points a game, followed by Azzolino, who's in the 10th slot, averaging 8.9. Full disclosure, the stats that I am reading, these are the stats. These are not the up-to-date stats. These stats are from a week ago. Bradworth Benton, who's always representing, had not given the current stats yet, but he's out in the left coast, and bless him, he has a lot of things he's doing. I'm sure those stats will probably come right after the show if they haven't come already. But I'm here live with you all in this virtual studio, so if they have come already, then so be it. They have come already. And I'm not going to be able to give that information right now, but you can always go to the MNBL website, themnbl.org, and I will have all the recent standings. Backing up to the Kings, their weapons, their big three. Hampton averaging 17.3 points a game, followed by Matheley, who's averaging 11.8 points a game, and Francilliard averaging 8.1 points a game. In terms of league leaders, league scoring leaders, 3 points, Hampton is the king of the three-pointers. He is number 1 in three-pointers. Now, when we go down to the line where everything is free, don't see one king at the free throw line in the top 10. That could come and bite them in the behind this weekend in the madness. We don't know, but we shall see. Now, top 10 scorers, we have Hampton, who is the number 3 scorer in the league, again, averaging 17.3 points a game, followed by Matheley, who is 7th, averaging 11.8 points per game. So, again, will the free throw be the Achilles heel? We'll find out. I mean, how hard is it to hit a free throw? Hell, they're free. What's guarding you? Back up to the Kings. I just did the Kings. So we're going to back up to the Sixers that came in the 4th slot. They're doing the stat shuffle here. Their top 3, Dante Hector, averaging 18.1 points a game, followed by Melvin, averaging 8.5 points a game, and Juarbe, averaging 7.2 points a game. So that is their big 3. In terms of scoring leaders, top 5 three-pointers, we have Dante Hector in the 2 slot with 3-pointers, 25 threes. I guess I should have said how many threes that these players have. So Hampton's on top with 35 threes. Dante in the 2nd slot, Hector with 25 threes. Wallace, third with 23s, Sullivan fourth with 17 threes, and the person who's in fifth place is not in the madness, so we don't need to say his name, but, we're going to give him love anyway because he's on the defending Neighborhood League champion Bullets, Chase Bolling in the sixth slot with 16 threes this season. Now, at the line where everything is free, Hector is on top of the league right now, and it's not even close between who's in second place. What happens to be Bolling, who's not even in the madness, but Hector averaging a whopping 87.5% at the line where everything is free. I'm going to say that once again. 87.5% at the line where everything is free. I have to skip you for a second because I'm getting a text and it's probably a user. Oh, no, that's my mamacita. I always thought maybe it was a user saying something with the audio, but you can always put it in the chat. We got people that are live here. The chat is open. I don't know if I'll be able to get to you. I'll do it as solo, but the chat is open. Again, Hector on top of the league, 87.5%. And he is, and Nashawn Melvin is in the 5 slot, averaging 53.8 at the line where everything is free. Scorers, Hector on top of the league, averaging 18.1 points a game, and he is the only Sixer that has cracked the top 10 in score in terms of scoring leaders with a minimum of 9 games. So those are the players. That is what's happening. The first game, the Pistons will be playing the Sixers. And the second game, the Celtics will be playing the Kings. But you know what? Instead of me just verbally telling you all that, show and tell, let me show you what's going to happen. So, and what has happened. The final standings this season, Pistons on top of the land, record 11-4 on a 1-game win streak coming into the madness. Celtics and Kings, they are tied up record-wise, but the Celtics has the tiebreaker over the Kings. Celtics 9-6, 2 games behind, and as I said before, they come into the madness with a 3-game winning streak. They are right now the hottest team that is in the madness. Followed by the Kings in the 3rd slot, same record again, 9-6, coming into the madness with 1 L, and that was against the Celtics. And followed by the Sixers. The Sixers 8-7, coming into the madness on a 2-game slide. And that 2-game slide happened this past weekend. So hopefully for the Sixers, they got all that basketball play out of their system so they could be at full capacity this weekend. This Saturday, March 15th, this is what's going to be happening there, y'all. At 1:15 is the Hot Shot Contest, followed by 2:30 is going to be the 4th place Sixers up against the 1st place Pistons, and then the next game, which is at 3:45, is going to be Kings versus Celtics. And in that second game, hashtag 2 words overtime. You heard it here first. You've been hearing it from me all season. These are the team representatives in the Hot Shot Contest. Representing the Bullets in the Hot Shot Contest, Devin Bailey, Aiden Clarke. Representing the Celtics, Rodner, Doricent, Damien, Jacques. Representing the Kings, Aiden, Greene, and Aiden, Pierre. Representing the Lakers, Zion, Gomes, Nadir, Moussaoui. Representing the Pistons, Jemiah, Charles, Davante, Layne. And representing the Sixers, Jose, Juarbe, and Anthony Noble. And then March 16th, the first game is going to be at 1:15 is going to be the coaches versus the All-Stars. And there is the record right there. The coaches are leading the series 23-14. That's right, the coaches. 23-14. And then the weekend favorite, the highlight of the weekend, the 2:30, the three-point contest. And then at 3:45, it is the MNBL championship game that we have affectionately called the Big Dance. And that's going to be hashtag the Big Dance 2025. And these are your All-Stars as voted by the coaches. Again, the coaches cannot vote for their own player. All-Stars voted by the coaches. From the Bullets, Chase Bolling and Adam Hassan. From the Celtics, Sweeney, Thelmarque, and Azzolino. From the Kings, Jacoby, Hampton, Cedric, Matheley. From the Lakers, Samaj, Wharton, Billy Gavin. From the Pistons, Sullivan, Wallace, Bly, and Cook. And from the Sixers, Dante, Hector, and Nashawn Melvin. Three-point contest representative. From the Bullets, Adam Hassan and Tenzin Thamcho. From the Celtics, Antoine J, Matt DaCosta. From the Kings, Jacoby Hampton, Cedric Matheley. From the Lakers, Remy Lawton, Griffin Leon. From the Pistons, Nate Sullivan, Rob Wallace. And from the Sixers, Dante Hector and Nashawn Melvin. And the James A. Tringali Memorial Sportsman Nominees. James A. Tringali was a longtime referee here in the Malden Neighborhood Basketball League. So we always memorialize him and his name by giving out a memorial sportsmanship. So this kid, only seniors are available or eligible, I should say, for this award. So we don't know who the winner will be because the coaches haven't voted on it yet, and that will be announced at the banquet. That'll happen sometime in the summertime. But from the Bullets, Adam Hassan. From the Celtics, David Azzolino. From the Kings, Zaden Pierre. From the Lakers, Samaj Wharton. From the Pistons, Nate Sullivan. And from the Sixers, Noah Body. So that is what is happening this weekend coming up. This is March. March is the International Month of Women. So we are just gonna drop some knowledge in your women history moment. And yes, you guessed it, it's the return of Agent 355, born in sometime in the 1900s. When she died, there's no record. She could be around today, but she'd be hellified, a few centuries. I doubt that, but who knows? A female agent in George Washington's famous Cooper spy network, whose identity remains unknown to this date. Technically, she didn't have her own identity, like Agent 99. Sorry about that, cheap. 355 simply meant female spy. Her intelligence was always on point, and documents indicate that 355 may have provided the intelligence that Benedict Arnold was going to betray his country, and British soldier John Andre was his contact. Scholars speculate that 355 was a well-bred New York society lady of a loyalist family, batting her eyelashes at officers and soaking up intelligence. Agent 355. Dropping the knowledge on your women's history moment. Now we get into Madness history. That's right, we're still going to go over Madness history, y'all. Madness history from 1986 to 2024. 39 seasons. Team number 1 leads the series versus team number 4, 31-6. In 1988, the Bullets was the only 4 seed to win the Big Dance, to advance to the Big Dance and win. In the series with Team 2 versus Team 3, Team 2 leads the series versus Team 3, 20-17. Only once did Team 3 meet Team 4 in the Big Dance, and that was in 1994 when the 3rd seed Sixers beat the 4th seed Sonics. More often than not, Team 1 team faces Team 2 in the Big Dance. If this holds true, then this year would be the number 1 Pistons versus the number 2 Celtics. Continuing on with Madness history, the past 39 years, the last 15 of 20 complete seasons, the number one seed have won. In 2003, the number one Pistons beat the number 3 Celtics. In 2004, the number one Bullets beat the number 2 Hawks. In 2005, the number one Lakers beat the number 3 Bullets. In 2006, the number one Bullets beat the number 3 Hawks. In 2007, the number 2 Celtics beat the number 1 Kings. In 2008, the number 1 Sixers beat the number 3 Hawks. In 2009, the number 1 Pistons beat the number 2 Lakers. In 2010, the number 1 Hawks beat the number 2 Bullets to become our first undefeated champion. In 2011, the number 1 Hawks beat the number 3 Pistons. That team won 32 straight games, 2 complete seasons without catching an L. In 2012, the number 1 Celtics beat the number 2 Sonics. In 2013, the number 1 Pistons beat the number 2 Bullets. Undefeated, our second undefeated team. And then the next year, in 2014, the number 1 Sonics beat the number 3 Kings to become another undefeated team. 2 years in a row, we had undefeated teams. In 2015, the number 1 Hawks beat the number 2 Sonics. In 2016, the number 2 Kings beat the number 4 Bullets. In 2017, the number 1 Sonics beat the number 2 Bullets. In 2018, the number 3 Bullets beat the number 1 Celtics. In 2019, the number 3 Kings beat the number 1 Celtics. That was a bad 2 years for the Celtics. And if that wasn't bad enough, the third year, 2020, COVID-19. Remember the pandemic, y'all? It halted the season 48 hours before playoffs, and the Celtics were the number 1 seed. That really sucked. But it was a worldwide pandemic, so you can't do anything about that. In 2021, the season was suspended due to COVID-19. When we resumed to play the Mall Neighborhood Basketball League in 2022, the number 1 Sixers beat the number 2 Pistons, and that Sixers team was undefeated. In 2023, the number 2 Celtics beat the number 1 Bullets, and in 2024, the number 1 Bullets beat the number 3 Lakers. So the number 1 Pistons appear to be the favorite to win, to take the whole doggone thing. That is your Madness history. As my favorite professional wrestler, Trey TSOG, says, take no promotion like self-promotion. Where to read them? In the Malden Advocate. The paper is free for the cheap. Well, you can go to the website of the Mall Neighborhood Basketball League, the MNBL.org, or the online home of this show, atrlive.com, and on Instagrams at MNBL 1986. Around the Rim, stream ATR on all devices. Live VOD, atrlive.com. Around the Rim, when to watch them on the public channel, Comcast Channel 9, Verizon Channel 28, every Thursday evening, replays Friday night, 10 p.m., followed by the following Wednesday afternoon, 3 p.m. Like and stream Around the Rim on Facebook, #follow, #stream, #retweet, X handle at Nestor Dudley, IG handle at The Real Nestor Dudley, because there is only one real Nestor Dudley. My mic sounds nice. Check 1. I said my microphone sounds nice when it's on. Check 2. Around the Rim is another joint that your man, the Dudster, Nestor Dudley, does. So where Around the Rim ends, Beyond the Rim begins and goes far beyond the annals of the Malden Neighborhood Basketball League. BTR. Listen to BTR, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you stream your podcast. So back in the virtual studios, we have in the Madness, as I have just gone over, we have the first game, Pistons Sixers. And how did they face up during this season? Well, the Pistons have swept the Sixers this year 3-0. Now, I got to tell you, it is very hard to beat one team 4 times in one season. And the Sixers could have easily finished in the first slot. I have to tell you, this season, in terms of parity, is so crazy. This is probably the most parodied season in the Malden Neighborhood Basketball League. There will really be no upsets, whoever comes out winning. And that second game, it would be the Celtics and the Kings. And the Celtics have a 2-1 lead over the Kings this season. And again, it doesn't matter. I mean, I have just gone over Madness history, and it's only 4 times that the 4th seeded person or 4th seeded team gone on to the big dance, that beat the top team and gone on to the big dance. With 1988, the only time a 4th seeded team has won in this big dance. And the Sixers and the 4th seed, the Sixers can light it up. So the Sixers have a realistic chance to be only the second team in the 39-year history of the MNBL to win the big dance and take the whole doggone thing, take home the big gold ball, which is the symbol of excellence in all the recreation sports in the city of Malden, Massachusetts. That second game, Celtics and Kings. Again, Celtics in the 2 slot, Kings in the 3rd slot. And more often than not, that Team 2 beats Team 3. But last year, we saw Team 3 go to the big dance to lose to Team 1. So even though that the series is a 3-game lead for the second seed team, it is too close to call. That's why I said this game is going to go #overtime. Now, check this out. Only one time, and I had gone over this earlier, only one time that Team 3 and Team 4 advanced to the big dance. And that can easily happen this year. Your championship game, your big dance game could be Kings Sixers. Anything is on the board. I just want to say to all you all out there that you really need to get down to the featherweight school this weekend. We have all these games, all these playoffs games. We have the All-Star game. We have a hot shot contest. We have the 3-point contest, which is a crowd favorite throughout that weekend. And again, the #big dance. We are going to be entertained. I cannot wait to be there and watch this. And next week, whoever the champions are, we will be in the studio. Yes, I'm calling the shot. We are going to be in the studio to celebrate our new 2025 champions, whomever it will be. So until next week, my friends, just want to say, buenos noches, hooches, cooches. I came in peace. I leave with love. This is for the red, the black, and the green. And I'll be seeing you at the games.